Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to Adventures in Arcane Space. Once again, I am your Dungeon Master, AuldDragon, and the players are...
Hi, I'm David Big Mac Shepherd. I play Braxon Miacc, who's a human fighter and the captain of the ship.
Hi everyone, I'm Dakami-sama and I play Solas of Ebha, who is Half-Elven Cleric Mage of Ogma.
Hello everyone, I'm Sailor I play Finnel'ar Mohani, a Druid from Grayspace.
Hi everyone, I'm Levalithana Senator. God, never knows even her own name. An elven wild mage.
I mean, you could always stick with Footloose. Hi, I'm Zach and I play the character of Lafdul Moonglade, a specialty priest of Aravan Illicir and a part-time thief on the side, so in other words, it's this multi-class. He's from Realm Space, from Evermeet. It's a fantastic place for elves. Anyone else that's not an elf, I can get out. So his gimmick is coming up with fun titles, and this current title, today's title, is The Bungling and Befittingly Brilliant, Botanically Bonkers, Bizarre Backbone of the Company of the Broken Sword. Didn't quite roll off the tongue the way I wanted it to, but hell. Anyway, I need to run away.
All right.
Right back.
So, we... Ah, good. Go ahead and introduce yourself, then.
I'm James. I play Ockar, human paladin from Brawl, and I just ran here as fast as I could.
So, we left off last time. The party had... we left off a little early for technical difficulties, but it also ended up being a decent break point. The party has gotten to the edge of Chthon space. Even though that's not reflected on this map, I'm going to pull the viewers over to the Chthon space map so that they can see, edge of the sphere, right? Right. Even though it's off that map a little further, it's fine. And they've gotten to the sphere wall. You guys did already use the gem to open a portal.
Oh, we did?
Yeah, I believe you guys deducted that.
Right. Yeah.
And that was 2 days further on from when you faced the Guardians of the Cards, shall we say.
And it's...
So that's 2 days of research. 2 additional days of research.
Yes.
Hmm.
You would have lost a day for the cards stuff, though.
So it's 1 more day for the research.
Yeah. Yes, Braxon.
And it's okay if we pop down before we use that gem. Get some air.
Absolutely. Yeah, so you'll be starting with a completely fresh air envelope. So before you actually cross into the Phlogiston, is there anything in particular that you guys want to do before you go?
Does anyone want to cook some food for the next few days? So we could have, like, cook and stuff.
We should probably, like, smoke some meat or something.
Yeah, we'd do that on the lead up to coming. And then we've got to go around and do all the drills for making sure there's no fire.
Yeah.
I
think on the way in we should probably smoke all the meat we've got that's raw.
I don't know that you have anything like that, because you haven't done anything that would have gotten you some, I don't think.
Yeah, I suppose we'd have loads of mushrooms and stuff with the places we've been.
Finn can always cast heat metal to cook with too, so.
Okay.
If that doesn't come to any sparks, hopefully.
Sounds good.
I'm not sure. That can definitely warm things up, give you a hot meal. I'm not sure if it's hot enough to cook.
I mean,
It's searing hot.
It is searing hot, but that's...
It can cook people inside their armor.
Yeah, but, I mean, you can get scalded by, by boiling water, which, I don't know, it doesn't say anything about boiling water. You can get, let me rephrase. You can get scalded by water that's not boiling hot.
Yeah.
I'd say if you can burn a person to death within their own armor, then I'd say that probably would work. But that's just me.
Yeah, but you
Well,
can die from heat exposure in the desert pretty quickly too, and it's still not hot enough to actually cook on.
Fair enough.
If it doesn't say that it can do a thing, then it doesn't do a thing. Now, again, that does allow you to have like hot soup, hot stew, that kind of thing. But I don't think it can actually cook.
Well, in any case, I don't think we have that much raw food.
Yeah,
I think,
and I don't know that you would have any right now because you didn't specifically say that you were trying to do anything to gather some.
I think Braxon will put hot drink. It's his special beer mug, and I think I said last week that he prayed to Ptah for guidance for finding the Phlogiston River. Oh, somebody's eating their microphone.
Also, after that fight with the Guardians of the Guards, Solas looks a bit older now.
It's a bit older,
Yeah,
Yes, he's of the spry age of 43.
right?
Yeah, the gate spell makes you older even faster than the haste spell does.
Wow.
All right, so unless you have some like because you didn't specify that you had anything to cook. What you would have gotten from I mean there would have been fresh food in what you purchased for ship stores, but you would have also eaten that first because gonna go off first.
Okay.
So.
I suppose one thing Braxon will say to the others is, do they think we need to take any precautions for the prisoners in case they try and make a spark to explosion so they can get out?
With what they would make the sparks if they are in the cages and they don't have anything anything other than their clothes.
I don't know. Might have something.
I would think we would have taken everything except the clothes from them.
Yeah. Okay.
And even about the clothing, they would be pretty much the basic shirt and trousers kind of thing.
Yeah. So that Ryan didn't tell us we have to create the portal at a specific place, did it?
No.
Well, it did, but that was down this tunnel.
Yeah, but it didn't tell us a particular place on the wall or anything. It's not anywhere.
No, that never matters.
Okay.
Like, I mean,
I think we just had to create one at the very end of the tunnel.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah, but also like creating a portal like 20 feet away or even a mile away isn't going to make that big of a difference on the grand scheme of things in Spelljammer. It can't. It's too precise.
It'll still spin us out on the flattest sun, generally around the area we want to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the thing is that it's not that we need to create the portal in specific place. It's that we need to go into the float river that leaves around here.
Yeah.
So we need to create the portal, and then we need to use our spyglass to look for the red stream.
Yeah. We need to use my spyglass.
Yes. My spyglass is still broken.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll we'll open the portal and then go through.
Okay.
Hang on. We'll have people prepared for any sort of creature that might attack us going through.
All right.
We've had
And
those desperate spiders before.
the spellcasters, you guys have taken care of any extra dimensional spaces that you have, and you've changed up your spells.
I'm back. Yes, I have emptied out my pouch.
Yes,
So-
I've prepared my one spell.
So that magic money bag, is that sealed when we're in the Phlogiston?
No.
It's not extra dimensional.
Yeah, it's
It just
transmutational.
changes the it transmutes the coins we put into it.
Okay, fair enough. Braxton's got nothing.
Okay.
One question about the money back, by the way.
Mhm.
Does it just change the metal of the coins, or does it actually change also the minting of the coin?
It changes the minting too.
Okay.
Oh, that's clever.
And it changes it to the one of that sphere.
I don't think you've ever paid enough attention to it.
We paid enough attention that we know that it changed into the green sphere metals in there.
Okay, then yeah, it does. I mean, the thing is that most of the time when you're in a crystal sphere, it doesn't matter what the minting is, so long as the coins are of a certain metal and a certain size, kind of thing.
Yeah, it was just out of interest for Solas.
Yeah.
All right. Weighed anyway.
I'm sorry?
I thought currencies just weighed rather than counted.
You generally don't weigh them as a matter of course. You will if you're suspicious, but if you're weighing them as a matter of course, then there's no big point to having currency anyway. The whole point of having actual currency is that you don't need to do it. Now, if you're in a place like Brawl, most of the merchants are going to be familiar enough with the common currencies that they're just going to look at it. Oh yeah, okay, I know this is good, kind of thing. If you bring something in from someplace else, then yeah, they might pull it out, double check it, like double check one, and then be like, okay, yeah, this is good, kind of thing. Worst case scenario is that they just say, yeah, go to the exchequer and exchange this for currencies that we know, kind of thing. All right. So, you are all prepared to enter the Phlogiston. You put in the gem, creates the portal, and you transfer through into the Phlogiston. I'm going to be pulling you guys over to the Phlogiston map, but you're not going to know where you are right now.
Okay.
So you are somewhere out there. Somewhere out there. Exactly where, you don't know.
But not over the rainbow.
No, not over the rainbow. No, definitely not over the rainbow.
So we don't know what Massa Pie has.
What?
Somewhere over the rainbow, way a pie.
Yeah, I still have no idea what you said the first time, though.
I said we don't know what the mass of a pie is.
No. Okay. Can we use the our Braxton's telescope thing to look for a red flow river?
Sure. So you get into the Phlogiston, and you immediately do notice that there are two pretty obvious flow rivers close to where you've exited. And even without the spyglass, you can actually see this. But you use the spyglass to just double check, make sure that there isn't anything obvious out that way that you can see. One of them is definitely crimson. It's kind of the a bright, like ruby red color. And the other one is kind of blue tinged. And Glau will say that, in his opinion, that red one is the one that you want based on the information that you have.
I say we go that way.
Yep.
All right.
Towards the Red River.
All right. So you get underway. And begin traveling. Your first day is completely uneventful. Now, here is a question that I want you guys to answer. If the trip is long, because you have no idea, like it could be 1 day, it could be 100 days, it could be even more.
Yeah.
Do you want me to do this in like weeks?
Yeah.
It's easier to chart things in weeks.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
As a question to the group, are we going for every opportunity that presents itself to replenish our supplies? As in, like, we come across food, we're hunting it because we don't know how long we're going to be.
I'd say it depends on the situation.
If we see, if we get attacked by any monsters we can eat, we'll grab it.
Yeah.
And even if we come across the food, if it's looking like it might lead to a fight and we don't have a currently need for that food, not necessarily.
So question, Ald.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much this is nickeling and diming it, but could we get the Hawaii to go inside the ship and create fog inside a room so that we get fresh air? Or is that kind of cheating that we have to have fog all over the ship?
Well, it's not all over the ship, but it is covering the extent of the fog cloud that they can make it. It doesn't matter if it's inside a room or not. It's not going to be contained there. Your ship is not airtight.
Okay. Right, so it'd leak out.
How long does that fog cloud last?
Let me take a quick look.
Today I'll make or look up Spelljammer rules.
Well, it's specifically look up that spell rule.
Yeah. It's a good question.
Since we do have characters with the ability to fly and such.
Oh, 4 rounds plus 1 round per level. That's not very much.
Yeah, that's only a few minutes.
Yeah.
It's good in a fight, but...
So we can have them use it when we think it's safe to lose the sight for a few minutes.
Yeah.
Let me double check to see if they cast it on a higher level. Give me a second.
While this is going on, I'm getting daily lectures to Randy Orton and his crew.
We can send them to the Dolphin Shuttle. Ald.
Telling them about the great forgiving embrace of Tyr.
No, if we send Hawaii up to the Dolphin Shuttle and get them to create the air there, they'll be casting at a higher level.
Solas sighs with the disappointment, even if he is not present when Braxon says that.
I'm being heckled from the chat.
Yeah, so it'll last about a little bit under 15 minutes when they do that.
I think I'm getting heckled too for the prisoners trying to start fire.
And let me double check something else.
Boo. Boo, Dracophile, boo.
I think Dracophile just got given 10 bits.
Okay. Yeah, so they cast it at the 9th level, so that's 13 rounds duration.
Mm-hmm.
So 13 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not that bad.
Yeah, I think we do a sweep before doing that, and then when we think we're happy, we have 30 minutes of fog.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 13 minutes of horror storytelling.
13 minutes before it starts dispersing.
Yeah.
It doesn't just instantly
disperse
disperse
immediately, but But we have characters that can fly, so they should be able to fly above the fog cloud. And see if there's anything coming.
And we'll also cast a Create Air every day to help.
Every day? Wouldn't that mitigate our air need entirely at that point?
I only
Question-
create enough for 5 people.
Oh, alright.
Alt.
Mhm.
What happens with air sphere once the sphere disperses? Does it sort of merge into the rest of the atmosphere?
Yeah.
So Leva could cast air sphere a few times a day.
What level
So that-
spells that?
That just protects the air, doesn't it?
It creates a mobile sphere of breathable air. So she could do it once it starts to stink. She just casts air sphere.
But it's just around you, right?
It's 20-foot radius.
Oh, actually, okay, that's pretty good. But so here's the thing: fog cloud and obscurement is pretty good in this way too. I believe it refreshes the air for 10 tons per caster level. Haredi cast it at 9th level.
And we have quite a lot of Hurweti.
Finn could cast Obscurement at 9th level as well.
Oh, by the way, Braxon would have given back that ring that he borrowed.
And Leva will give you back Glittertines too.
Yeah.
I assume we all got
Thank
our
you.
stuff back.
Right, but so I don't think anyone quite connected the dots here. A single Herwadi can completely replenish a whale ship's air supply.
Yeah,
That's
and
not a
I said
single one.
we have. Yeah, it's one Hurweti can cast it on 9th level, and it's basically 90 tons of air
Oh, right.
refreshment.
You don't have to worry about air.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's good. I thought they had to work together in groups of 5 or something.
I don't believe so. Let me double check that.
And even if they do, we do have enough Hurweti to have
yeah,
multiple groups of 5.
Right, and
No, I
that
knew
that gives a 90-ton ship. You know, I mean, obviously they can't do more than what your ship can handle, but they
Would they make extra air that bleeds off into space?
yes, or it just wouldn't like it just doesn't do any extra. It doesn't really bleed off into space. Really, it doesn't matter. It's not a big deal. It would if there was a much bigger.
Another
I mean, it's
ship
only
in
20
here,
tons.
or-
It's not that big of a deal. If they were on a flitter, yeah, it's way too much kind of thing.
If there was another ship using our air sphere, it would bleed into theirs.
But so the
Yeah, I'm just looking at page 21 of CGR1. It seems to suggest that each Huwaiti can only create enough air for 10 tons worth of vessel.
I mean, I'm looking at the Monsters Compendium entry.
Okay. So it's got different things in both places.
What it might be is that CGR1 may have decided that they could do it per actual character level. Let me see.
It's page 21 if you got it.
Yep. I don't know. I mean, you got plenty of Herwady. I
Yeah.
will look at that and decide
Yep.
what I want to do in that regard. And since it's a natural ability rather than just actually casting, it might be better to stick with what it says in CGR1. Either way, they can do it once per day.
Yeah.
And we have lots of Horwady.
Yeah,
Right.
so that means if we got lots and they can create fog, then we can kind of have fog on the ship at will.
Well, and if you're ever like, it will make it harder for you to fire out of it, but it also
Yeah.
makes it harder for an enemy to hit your ship if you've got the fog cloud up. So
Yeah.
if you're trying to run from a ship, it can be worthwhile putting up a fog cloud inside your ship to make it harder for them to hit you as you're running.
Yeah.
Okay. So the
Excellent.
first day is uneventful. You're all prepared for whatever the phlogiston throws at you. But that first day, nothing is thrown at you. So over the next few days, you get into a routine, continuing your spell research, continuing meditations, continuing practicing, all these things that you normally do when you're in your, on an extended voyage. And you find that a week passes without incident. Any updates on what you guys are doing? Anything getting finished in that week period? Anything in particular that you want to do in that period of time? In fact, let me just go down the roster. So, Braxon, anything in particular that you're doing in that week?
I don't know whether I got extra skills I can use. that I can train on. Trying to remember if I've got anything to train.
If you don't know, then you're probably not.
On my hit points are down, so I can put them back to 75.
Yeah, everyone's fully healed, so you can put all your hit points. All right, so I guess you can take a look at see if you can figure that out. Solas, what are you spending that week on?
Solas, since he doesn't have any spell research at the moment, he will be studying those manuals of golem creation.
Okay. They're for specific.
Yeah, manual of skeletal golems and manual of bone golems. He looks through them basically in the way if they are something that he would ever consider using.
Okay. Let's see. Doo-doo-doo.
Or are they something? Do they contain processes that are against his ethos?
Okay. Which one do you want to look at?
I looked at bone golem first.
Okay. So that one, upon beginning to peruse it, you realize that number one, this is particularly a wizardly work, and you're glad that you have expertise in understanding wizardly spellcasting, because you would realize that if you did not, that might not have been a good thing for you.
Mm-hmm.
And let me see what is required for that golem. Hold on a second. I noticed that I did not put down those particular details in the item description that I put in here. So let's see. Okay, you are also, like, the requirements for constructing this are also, like, the concepts required to create one of these things way over your head. You do feel that you need to be considerably more powerful before you'd be able to even make an attempt at this.
Yeah.
Um,
But is the process or acquiring the materials for it something that Solas would consider evil?
uh, that I will leave to your own discretion. But perusing this material, you at least get an understanding of what the requirements are for it. It would require you to spend 25,000 gold pieces on various material components for the rituals. And you would need to collect bones from formerly animated undead skeletons. Of any sort. Animal, monster, humanoid, doesn't matter.
Okay.
But you cannot use the entire skeleton. You can only use individual pieces, so you're cobbling this thing together.
Multiple undead needed to create one.
Yeah. You can only use 10% of any given skeleton in the creation of it.
But it allows to use animal and humanoid together.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And the particular spells that need to be cast in the process of creating one of these is Animate Dead, Symbol of Fear, Binding, and Wish.
Quite the spells.
And creating one of these would take you 2 months.
But the golem itself would not be considered undead.
No, it's a golem.
Okay. Yeah. So it's not necessarily something that would be evil.
No, but given the fact that you have to cast Animated Dead as part of it...
Yeah, that's the question a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But Solas makes notes of this, and basically it's something to discuss with the party with.
Do I spell necromancy?
No. Even if it does have the animate dead spell, it's not still strictly necromancy, since you are creating a golem.
I know, I was joking.
Oh,
so you do have to use Bones of Undead.
One thing that I should mention is you can actually attempt to make this at a lower level, but
via scrolls, I assume.
Yeah, you could get scrolls for all those particular spells if you don't know them personally. You could get scroll even if you were high enough level, you could still use scrolls. However, in order to there's a cumulative chance of failure in your attempt.
Yeah.
If you're for each level below.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'd say that you spent the whole week studying this thing.
Yeah. I'm studying it with care that I don't accidentally do something stupid.
Yeah. Now,
it's-
one thing that you do discover is that they are particularly vulnerable to the Shatter spell.
Oh, that's a really good knowledge. I have the Shatter spell.
Yeah. So if you ever encounter one, that is a useful thing to use against them. But because it basically talks about it being a great vulnerability of the creature.
Yeah. It was Wish, Animated, and was there any other spell?
Binding and a symbol. Which symbol was it? Symbol of Fear.
Okay. And it was 25,000 gold pieces for the materials.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm not sure how to feel about a bone golem. There's a part of me that feels iffy about it.
I mean, it's just a golem that is made out of bones.
Yeah, but you had to use animate dead for part of it, and that's where the iffy part comes in.
That's where
And-
Lafdul
Yeah.
comes up with his own like book golem. It's gonna be
And-
made out of books.
You're using the bones of someone who some of you might feel should be laid to rest.
That
Yeah.
too.
So
But you can
it
also
may
use
not
animal bones.
it may not be evil in and of itself, but it's definitely not a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, having learned a little bit about some golem creation, that might open your mind up to other golem creation, like stone golems or something like that. Something that would be more not quite so
Yeah.
questionable in its
Yeah,
ethical.
I think that even if I never create bone golems, the knowledge gained from this should be at least a part transferable to other golem creation.
All right, so that's what you spend your week on. Ockar, other than your proselytizing, what are you spending your week on?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'll be doing my best on my own to try to train Behemoth with my lack of any skill or knowledge of that.
Okay. That's fine.
To try to train him to respond to a few commands that others can use.
All right.
Just we have plenty of time.
All right. Finn, what are you spending your time on?
Yeah, probably just tending his various plants and little minor gardening in his room.
I don't know why someone would be ringing the doorbell, but someone just rang the doorbell. Hold on, I need to at least see if it's important. Sorry.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
No problem.
Right.
Quick! Everybody hide while Ald's away.
Hide.
But yeah,
I wonder if-
Solas will share his research with the rest of the officers about the Bone Golem book.
Mm-hmm.
And
Leva is very interested.
basically say that it's not the kind of spell not the kind of golem creation that usually good people do, but it's not inherently evil.
Well, Leva is very interested. She's far less bound by sort of things than others.
You mean like Lafdul isn't bothered by that kind of things? He
No,
should be
like
more than you
Solas
are.
is bothered by these things. Undead bones. Yeah, okay, let's do that.
It's not the undead bones exactly. It's mostly the animate dead spell.
Yeah, okay. I only wrote down that it's especially sensitive to shatter spell. What was the rest of it that you were going to share?
Basically, the basic principle of creation that you need undead bones from undead creatures, and that it also requires the casting of animate dead, which is not usually a good spell, since it's basically a spell that is used to enslave the dead.
Right.
Is that all? Basic. What was the 2 months you had and 25,000 gold, something
yeah,
like that?
Yeah, 2 months of time to make the rituals and creation, and 25,000 gold is the cost of it.
Here is the question.
Mm-hmm.
I'm back. I
Is
had to sign for
anime
a package. Go ahead.
we were all discussing animate dead, and we were like, is animate dead binding a soul to the corpse, or is it just an animation of bones? That's just effectively being what's the word?
It is desecrating the dead.
Yeah, that's what I meant. But it's not pulling a soul into the corpse. That's like a more powerful spell,
No.
generally.
It's a spell that mostly Lafdul would be willing to cast in our group, I think.
I've got the scrolls of animate dead.
There are definitely some who would believe that a soul cannot rest in peace if you animate the corpse, even as a skeleton or zombie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And I had a question about something else.
Mhm.
Finn, do you think that he would be able, if he's willing, to help me with training Behemoth while he's doing his other stuff too? He's like a druid and stuff. Do you think that would help?
Yeah, he could help you out. He can definitely make it easier for you to communicate with Behemoth. Just cast Gift of Speech on him.
Do you think that would help, Ald?
It would help you to communicate things to him, but unless someone also has animal training, it's not gonna help with actual training. Because you just need to have the thing. I mean, a lot of training is just getting an animal to do something, a bunch of times, repeatedly, and know how to do it based on your quick signals and stuff like that.
Okay.
And just
Well,
talking to them is not enough, really.
I'll at least try it.
Yeah. I mean,
Along with...
like, you could certainly communicate a whole bunch of stuff to him. You won't necessarily be able to get him to do tricks, but he's already pretty intelligent, and you could definitely talk to him. And I would absolutely, if someone did get animal training, I wouldn't care about the particular animal that they have training with, and I'd give a bonus to the roll to see if he can learn the tricks and stuff.
Okay. Like, the main ideas was, like, a hand motion for, like, to order him to attack and, like, heal. And that's something I can make if they want him to, like, follow along with them and guard them.
Yeah.
And a few other things.
Like, right now, you can already communicate that to him for yourself.
I meant for other
but
people.
yeah, for other
I have to give
people,
it to somebody else.
other people, you'd still need to do animal training. But again, with that, you'd be able to get a bonus. And if you want to treat this as, we're preemptively doing this, and then once someone gets animal training, we spend a little bit of time, less time with him to just do the roll and get that locked in. Kind of thing. That's fine.
Let's do that. I might even pick it up myself.
Okay. Finn, was there anything else that you were going to do as well?
No, that's pretty much it.
Okay.
I worked out what Braxton's going to do.
All right.
He's going to make sure all the new crew get trained so that they're really good at working together.
Okay.
And so that they understand all our special signals for doing one thing or another thing. And he's also going to talk to Margoth and see if he can finish learning that language.
Okay. Yeah, you'll finish learning that at some point during the trip.
Yeah.
I have not been keeping track of the specific durations, but definitely at some point you will have that taken care of.
At some point when Braxon is training the crew, Solas comes to help and train the crew. One specific thing that our old crew knows how to do: how to facepalm when Braxon gives bad pun.
Meanwhile, the Haredi are like, "Wait, what? That was funny. I don't get it. Why are you doing that, Solas? That was funny."
That was
Leva.
funny.
Leva is researching
Okay.
improved invisibility. She's at 33 days now.
Out
So that will
of
be past 7 days?
yeah, 7 days will pass.
Okay.
Does that get you to finish or anything like that?
No,
No,
it's
okay.
40 days of 57.
Okay. And Lafdul.
I think I've been counting down, not counting up. So I think I have 20 days left. So if it's been a week, I have 13 days left. I want to be talking to Lenelius actually during this time. If I, just
Yeah, you can
learning. I want to learn as much as I can about the Elven Imperial Navy that he's willing to share.
All right.
In that, I want to convey that I want to keep my options open if, for whatever reason, I were to leave the company, because I know I need an officer to sponsor me, so to speak.
I mean, don't you have a brother in Elven Imperial Navy?
Yeah, but I don't think your own family members count. It'd be biased.
It would also depend on the sphere. They might do. They might accept that as a sponsorship in realm space, but not in another sphere, because it's like in realm space he might have a reputation that is like, okay, yeah, he doesn't seem like the type to just recommend his brother just because kind of thing. Whereas in another sphere where he doesn't have a reputation, they might be like, I don't know, you gotta go find someone independent. It can vary, but certainly if Lenelius was willing to sponsor you, then that would be that would basically work anywhere,
Yeah, it's about keeping ties with the Elven society and way of life. I mean, Lafdul's trying to be more that way inclined. He's going to try and take those goals more when the opportunity presents itself.
Right. Also,
he's just learning, I suppose.
Real fast, I did just remember that I forgot to mention the current rerolls. Braxon has 1, Finn has 2, Ockar has 0, Lafdul has 1, Leva has 0, and Solas has 2. So, just in case you guys end up doing something during your trip that
Thanks.
you feel.
Remember, they don't always help. Leva used all of them up, and only after she used them up, she got the right numbers.
They do make it more likely, but yeah, it's just a reroll. It's not a guarantee.
It did help. You rolled the bad numbers off faster.
Yeah.
You mean random decided, oh, she's rolled so many times, let's give her a good number.
No. You were just going to be getting those bad rolls for the it was going to be the next 4 or 5 or whatever it was. Bad, rolls were going to be bad, period. It's just, fate. So with the reroll, you got through them quicker on fewer actual actions so that you got to your good rolls. Yeah, that's exactly how it works.
Yeah, we should keep
we
that in mind.
all have a dice roll pool that creates fate creates the numbers that come in order.
So Lafdul, Is there anything in particular you're trying to find out from Lenelius? Just find out what the duties are, like the normal duties and stuff like that, kind of thing, or
It's
what?
more like learning the principle and the concept of why it exists and what he believes in it. It's like Lafdul knows of it, but he's never really talked to someone outside of his family. Obviously, he wants like an independent view of what he believes is the Elven Imperial Navy's way of life. That's what I'm trying to learn the concept. Yeah, maybe some duties or something I could maybe tangle myself into, help out all these stuff, learn.
But to start with, what's the philosophy of it, of the Elven Imperial?
Yeah.
All right. So Lenelius starts out by, describing that the Elven Imperial Navy exists first and foremost to ensure the safety and prosperity of elven realms throughout the spheres, throughout known space, and primarily in terms of protecting them from threats that they won't see coming and aren't aware of, i.e., threats from beyond their planets. They He's very blunt about how, unfortunately, they cannot protect all these nations from all the threats that they are aware of from down on their own worlds. They will help out when they can, but they will note that sometimes they, like there's a mixture of like non-interference when it comes to planet-side threats, in that not every race and culture and people on any given world is aware of spelljamming, so they have to be extremely careful about when they get involved and what they get involved with. Like, do they bring down an armada to just launch all of the flitters on an invading army of humans or orcs or something like that? Generally not. Because there is an element of elves kind of have to defend themselves in that regard. They also don't want to, risk some of these things falling into the hands of these other potential enemies. The helms and the ships and everything like that. But they also serve as a way to, protect the elven realms from, back in the day more so than today, fleets of goblinoids who might be like, hey, there's an elven nation there that isn't aware that we exist. We can just land right on them and crush all the elves, kind of thing. That's one of the things that they existed to do. Of course, with the Unhuman War 300 years ago, some of those threats were eliminated, and now they function more as, patrolling the space lanes, making sure that everything is safe and prosperous. Primarily for, like, elven traders and travelers, but also there's the, kind of spreading effect of that also protects most other people, too. So they're primarily doing all these things to protect elves. Protecting other people is like a side benefit in their mind.
Yeah, that was my understanding of it generally as well.
And
I'm not sure, as you might have mentioned, that Lafdul may not have made that connection. So,
I'm sorry?
well, Lafdul may not have really understood the scope of it, I suppose. He's just learning.
Yeah, he will also say, like, the goal is to ensure safety everywhere that they can. Unfortunately, with shifting flow rivers, sometimes it's and the great distances involved, it can be difficult to actually do that. But he also says that those who put in their time and want to move on, there's plenty of openings for people to move over to like the Syndieth line, who don't want those rules and structures and stuff like that anymore. And some people also will, some elves will move over to the Syndieth line and then, after spending a few decades there, come back to the Elven Imperial Navy and stuff like that.
Yeah, there's plenty of decades with elves. So.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'd imagine you get quite laborious after 100 years.
It depends. I mean, there is an element of long-term patience with elves that when they believe in something, they can keep doing it for a very long time.
Oh yeah, it's nice to see the next generation, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
See how they view things.
Back when I was your age, 200 years ago.
It's only going to be Leva that's going to be around in like 200 years. Everyone else in the party will be long dead.
Unless, of course, they get some...
we just give them some potions so they stay young.
Yeah, just learn how to make
Would they
potions
want
for
to
longevity.
live that long?
Well, that's up to them, but
Yeah.
we can help them by giving them potions.
Well, on this current rate of your haste, I won't even live 200 years.
And then you guys cheap out and just make potions that extend their lifespan without keeping them young.
Oh, that's another way of doing it. Yeah. How old does Solas get? It's half-elf.
120, something like that.
It depends with half-elves.
Did you roll your max age?
Yeah.
You can
I
share
have
it.
my max age.
You can share it. It's fine.
Yeah, but I don't know if I want to share it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you roll low or something?
65 and counting.
I mean, Lafdul's max age, I think, is on the lower side, 628.
Oh?
I mean, it's 4D100s and plus. I don't know actually what the formula is. I can't remember now.
Lewa is lower than
350
yours.
plus 4D100.
Oh yeah.
Lewa is 610 max age.
Oh, similar age then.
Over 600 years old.
No.
Her
Her max age is 610.
Yeah, we're not that old. We wouldn't be travelling if we were that old.
She
Yeah,
is
you'd be
120.
You'd be going on to wherever the elves went to in Lord of the Rings, whatever it is. I don't know how it works with elves.
It's
How old
Arvenaith
are you?
in D&D.
I'm 133.
You'd sail off into the great unknown. We don't have to see you get really old.
It's like you go into a trance and you basically don't wake up and you effectively die for all intents and purposes.
No, you move on to someplace else.
Your body stays there though.
Mm-mm.
As far as I know.
You know, Lewa is actually 10 years younger than she thought she was, so she's now at 120. She actually thought she was 130.
Well, that's handy.
I mean, it's only a chip on the old block, eh?
All right, so your first week has passed, and you head into the second week. It starts out uneventful, but on the 8th day of the total trip, a crew member on watch shouts out, "Off the starboard bow! Looks to be a Kindori pod!" You can see a pod of space whales just traveling through the phlogiston, basking in the rainbow glow of...
It's normally a
Which
good
is-
luck thing, isn't it?
Who's on shift?
Hold on. I didn't roll that. Second shift.
Can't remember if we ever hunt these or if we just... Is it a good luck
said
thing?
it's that means that's Braxon?
Yep.
Mm.
Okay, he's
Are
gonna.
they edible?
He's
Are
gonna
these
look.
edible?
Yeah, but I don't know if. He's gonna have a look to see if there's anyone living on them.
Not that you can tell. Doesn't look like it.
Oh,
I think-
how big
I-
are they?
They're
You-
pretty big. They're
Big-
big whales.
Yeah, they're as big as our ship, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
we'll give them a wide berth, I think, so that they don't slap the ship.
Okay.
Especially considering how our ship looks, they might mistake it.
I'm not going that way.
No.
Well, no, I wasn't going that
Oh!
way. Jeez.
Now we know where some people's minds go.
My mind only went that way because Braxton brought up. Damn it.
That's what I mean.
It was more of a territory thing that I was thinking of.
Yeah. Yeah, they might think we're an aggressive male dolphin coming to get them.
Would your brain go there, Braxton?
Maybe we need to have. Yeah. Best not to think about it. Yes.
Let's just avoid them
All right.
and never bring this up again.
That's a
Aren't
good
you
luck
asleep,
thing, though.
Ockar?
Yes.
He's having a nightmare.
Oh, okay. Yeah, fine.
All right. So you keep the you keep your distance from the pod of Kindori.
Yeah.
Could we? Does it seem completely random? Do they look like they're traveling in a particular direction? Because we might want to make a note on I suppose we're making a chart as we go or something. I don't know.
We're just going down the river.
Yeah,
we're
it's
not
it's
even
hard.
trying to chart.
It's hard to say whether they are like. You'd have to watch them for a while to really get a feel for how they're moving, because they could just be going with the flow river for a bit and then they turn off or something like that. They could be cutting across at a diagonal, but it's not really clear because of the angle of the diagonal. They could be just going with the flow of the flow river.
Can with the flow.
They are going roughly in the same direction that you are.
Oh.
Okay. Can we hang back then?
I mean, you can
Oh,
go
we
around
can.
them. You're faster than they
See-
are.
We're faster
Is it-
than that.
Is it
Okay.
possible to communicate with them?
If you've got spells that allow you to talk to whales.
Most of
Probably
those
be
spells
monster.
are pretty close range, though.
Oh, Finn is asleep.
And they
Yeah.
don't have mouths.
Telepathy would work, but then I would have to have a mental understanding of their language. Well, actually, no. It's you don't need a common language.
So Leva goes to Lafdul and asks him, how do you communicate with those things?
Well, a language is a way of just putting your thoughts into words. I'm not really sure how to explain that. I mean, the knowledge is there and what you want to communicate with each other, and the understanding's there without using words. That's why it's faster. Don't really know how to explain it, to be honest.
Leva looks wet.
Yeah, so specifically, like, the idea is that in D&D, everyone thinks the same way. And thinking is universal. But everyone speaks differently. So if you can do direct mind-to-mind communication, then you don't need an actual language.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, he's way better explaining that than me.
So we could sort of communicate with them. Don't you have spells that would allow us to do so?
I mean, if I had them memorized, yeah, it's kind of not a spell that I took. And given that it is rather costly for me to change my spells while I'm here, I'd rather not.
Would it even work?
Probably. Whether or not they're intelligent enough to have a decent conversations is a matter of course, I don't know.
Chances are you would believe they probably would be, because of the your Lafdul specifically. I'm saying, because of Deep Seychelles and his consort Trishina, who is a goddess of dolphins. So there's a belief among elves that dolphins and whales are an equal.
That might be a bit of a stretch for Lafdul to know that. I mean, if you're saying
you wouldn't know any of the subtleties and details and stuff like that, but you would still know that aquatic elves at least would see them as if not equals, then real partners in terms of like civilization.
Mm-hmm.
And you'd probably extend that to the similar types of things in the Phlogiston and space. But here's the big question. What's the range on that spell, even if you had it?
It's 30, well, actually, yeah, 30 yards.
Yeah.
Basically, I have to stand on it.
Mm-hmm.
Would that thinking also equal to the idea that elves would be reluctant to hunt and eat whales? At least sea elves. Or aquatic elf.
Yeah, sea elves definitely would be reluctant to
it's a case of necessity, but the only reason you would ever do it.
Hunt cetaceans, yes. And probably elves in general, yeah. Now, that might not extend to the space types. Alright, so Braxon, you're giving them a wide berth?
Yeah, we're going to give them a wide berth.
Alright.
We need to invest in a foghorn.
To warn the space whales?
You'd
You'd still have to breach their air envelopes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I forgot that's a thing.
Yeah, the foghorn wouldn't do much after our air envelope.
I just thought it was a cool idea having a foghorn.
I mean, still, yeah, it's nothing wrong. I mean, you could always blow it when the Herwadi are making their fog clouds.
Yeah.
That's true. Can we get a foghorn leghorn?
No. All right, so you avoid the Kindori. They definitely notice your presence as you're passing by and kind of take defensive postures, but they don't come towards you. They with you passing by and moving off, nothing of note happens. All right. The rest of the week is uneventful.
Right. Okay.
That's the second week.
Yep.
This is desolate around here.
Well,
It's pretty like it is. I mean, number one, you're going from you're taking a not like an undocumented flow river. So the people of the sphere that you're from, maybe one or two know about it, maybe know where it goes, maybe one or two people in the destination sphere know about it, but it's certainly not in any way widely known. There is no this is not, you're not taking a well-traveled path.
Hey, I would go to Finn and say that because my hey Finn, you around?
Yes.
Do you think you would have better luck propagating the plants when they're in berry form? Because at the moment they're not really being used.
Not sure. We could try it.
Yeah. You could always use more berry bushes, and I mean, either that or I make good berries, and if we get the opportunity to make more of them, and you seem better with plants than me, it's kind of your shtick.
Oh, I could spend some time, see if I can't transplant a few cuttings or something.
Did you have any luck with that bread plant? It's a bit of an odd one, that one. I thought it was a novelty, really.
What was that again?
Did you have any luck with the bread plant? I call it the bread plant because it smells like bread. Apparently, at some point, it's going to smell like bread at some point.
I haven't really been doing much with that, but...
All right. There's no sweat.
I think you tried and couldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Marcus, at some point, you may be able to copy of it and keep it for yourself or something. Oh well.
All right. So let's go ahead and run down real quick. Braxon, what do you have plans for on this second week in the flow?
Oh, the second week. All right. Well, how long does it take to train everyone up? That's not going to take all the time, is it?
No, and it's just more. I mean, like you'd be doing drills at other times anyway. By the time you get to the destination sphere, you'll get everyone trained the way that you want. But it's not going to be like I'm not keeping track if there's other things that you want to do at the same time. That you got plenty of time for that.
Yeah, he's going to check with all the NPCs to see if they need to do anything that they need a hand with. I suppose he'd be consulting with Glau on the riddles, and he'd probably look through
any specific interactions that you want to have with any of the NPCs. And this goes for all of you guys when your turn comes up, if you want to.
Yeah, I've got someone in mind.
I suppose Braxton's going to ask everyone if there's anything they need to do when we get somewhere civilized.
I mean, Linelius will just crack a joke about how if there's a Elven Imperial Navy outpost, he'll need to report in. But
yeah, yeah.
Well, it's more of a joke because that's super obvious that he, of course, would want to do that.
Yeah.
Margoth is just like she'll just say that she's looking forward to seeing a new sphere.
Yeah.
She hasn't been before.
Yeah.
Oh, this going into the flow is probably our first time, isn't it? Or...
Do any of the spellcasters need supplies?
You can ask her about that if you want, Lafdul. I mean, the spellcasters will be like, I mean, they'll take it upon themselves to purchase material components if they get into a place that they can purchase them. So.
Yeah. Okay. Have we got any books in that library that Braxton can read? So all things that are only useful for the spellcasters.
No, they're
Probably
not all because sometimes like there's histories, there's like legendariums. Because you never know when you're going to get inspiration, and when some of these histories will actually have some like someone might sit down to write a history, and without really knowing it and inadvertently talk about certain magical things. And that would be useful to a wizard. So yeah, there's books in there that you could just read. Some of it's dry, some of it's boring, and some of the other NPCs might have a few books that would be of interest too, if you want to spend some time reading.
Right. So I believe our library belongs to Lafdul and Leva.
And Solas, don't forget Solas.
Did Solas buy into it? Well, I remember you bought
Yes.
it. I remember
Yes,
you
he did.
two. Okay, because I remember you two.
It's kind of like anyone that wants to do
Paid in.
spell research. When we go up a level, they contribute, and then
Okay, so he'll say, are there any books that I'm allowed to read?
read whatever you want, as long as we're not using it for spell research currently.
Mm-hmm.
And don't break or mess with it.
Well, I don't want to touch anything that's magical or dangerous.
Yeah, but everything's like sacred to Solas, so he wouldn't even let you in.
Most of the books in there are non-magical in that they don't contain any magic in it. They contain only knowledge about magic research.
Every book is
Is
magical.
there anything, well, Braxon, is there anything you want to learn in particular, or do you just want to use a book as a, let's say, books about witches or books about science fiction, and stuff like that? Are you just looking for a good story, or are you looking for something to learn?
Something that might teach us about, and something that might teach me about any crystal spheres that we don't already know about.
I see the books on not transmutation,
dimensional
magic, but
so again,
like few histories for you.
Yeah, there's going to be some histories, and that's the thing is like when you go out and increase the level of your library, there's a whole bunch of books that get purchased that are not detailed. So yeah, there's stuff you can read like that.
Okay.
It's not like we have actually written down the details of every book we have in our library. It's hundreds of books.
Probably not hundreds of books, but yeah.
Go in and choose one that you think looks good, and if it helps you, or if it is what you expect, then okay. And if it isn't, then exchange it against another one.
I mean, if you really want to find something in our library, you should ask Solas, since he's basically cataloged everything in there.
Okay. Well, Solas just told me I should ask Solas, so I'll ask Solas. If he's got anything in his catalogue.
Like I said, Solas finds you a few histories.
Okay. Well, let's start off with one. What Braxon's going to do is he's going to get something that marks the place the book comes from and put it there so that he knows where to put the book back when he brings it back. And the thing's going to let people know that the Braxon's got the book.
Oh, Solas is keeping a very good record who has which book.
Oh, I know.
It's I'm just thinking as if he's a librarian.
Indeed.
Almost as if he's a librarian, yeah. I'm thinking that basically this will give Braxon a chance, but maybe not a statistical chance in games terms, of recognizing something in one of the spheres we go to at some point.
Okay. All right, Solas.
Finn has a question for Solas as well.
Oh, sure, go ahead.
Mm-hmm. In your research, have you ever come across mention of something called Sap of the Eldest Tree?
Sap of the Eldest Tree, that does ring small bells in my mind. Solas goes to peruse his catalog about the contents of our library.
Finn, refresh my memory on what that's related to.
It's a magic item from the Complete Druids.
Okay.
It's usually found in an earthen flask. The potion represents thick corn or maple syrup. Characters who drink the sap will not age a day for the next 10 years.
Okay, are you looking to begin, like,
Finn's looking to research it, yes.
Okay, alright.
Solas does have some slight surface knowledge about the item due to his culture, but not detailed knowledge himself.
Sounds like something Ockar might know. Doesn't he have like a sacred tree in his religion, like Yggdrasil?
Yeah, he's not gonna. I
Yggdrasil?
don't think he's gonna know anything about Sap of the Eldest Tree, though.
Yeah, nothing
It's
about
more it's more of a druidic thing, and Solas has a religion that has a few druidic gods.
And what were you saying, Ockar?
Yggdrasil is a giant tree, but it's also like a pathway between the different worlds.
Yeah, trees are sacred to him, but that doesn't. I mean, but he's also a warrior, and he's
Mhm.
definitely not the one who would know that much about the tree parts of his overall faith.
Yeah,
I just know that each branch goes to a different like world or plane or whatever.
Mhm. As a player knowledge, there are a few Celtic gods that or druidic things that are related to Celtic culture that Solas would know.
Cleric of Frey or Freya for that. They're more the naturey people.
Let me
But,
take a quick look at the Sap of the Eldest Tree. So you're looking to start researching that. I think Solas, you'd probably be able to say you don't have anything specifically on that, but here are some books that might point you in the right direction or give you some ideas, that kind of thing. So you'd be able to like get started, kind of thing.
Yeah, Solas would basically go and it's not a specific thing, but these are something that could be related to it. And Solas is very interested in helping out or hearing out the result of your research.
So, Finn, are you looking to start researching on this now?
Yeah, we're gonna have quite a bit of time in the Phlogiston, it looks like. So
Okay, and you do not have spellcraft, correct?
correct.
Okay. So I'll probably just have that like extend the amount of time that you would research it.
Solas doesn't have anything specific to do at the moment since he's waiting for Leva to be finished with her spell research, so Solas could help in that. For a while at least.
Your help would probably just be in terms of finding him books that would help. There's like some of what he'll need to do is praying and contemplating his own philosophies and knowledge, and that's something that you can't help with at all.
Yeah, that part not, but in the manual labor part about the library and book research.
Yeah. So. Let me look up what the timing for potion research is. Give me just a second. I mean, I'm perfectly fine with you starting on this, however. You're 9th level, correct?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, so you can begin.
Oh, it's a 9th level for potions.
Yeah. You will need an altar, a sanctified altar, to actually make it, but you can research the process for making it beforehand. Okay. You're going to begin this process, so let me roll. Oops, that's the wrong die, jeez.
Huh?
don't know why that was. I rolled that die. Okay, it's going to take you 4 weeks to research this, and that'll be 100 gold pieces per week, so 400 gold pieces spent on materials. And given that you're out in the flow, what that represents is you using up stuff that you have on hand that you then need to repurchase once you get to a place that you can repurchase it. And let's see.
Won't that count towards the one of our known recipes?
Yes, it will.
I think this would be the last one.
I might allow you guys to expand that a little bit since you have so many people.
Mm-hmm.
Because we got Lever's giant strength potions, we got the potion of timelessness.
Oil of timelessness.
Oh yeah. Can't remember what the other one was, if we did have another one. I think we had a
We
healing
don't have
potion recipe.
No, we don't have any other potions.
Didn't Lever want to do a healing potion?
For now, I'm not gonna be too concerned. We can figure that out after. I think that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'll definitely need to figure out what the ingredients are going to be, but there is. I just need to see if there's a process, like a chance for failure. Now, I'm not actually seeing anything to check to see if there's a lengthier process. I mean, like an actual check to see if you succeed at it. All right. So yeah, 4 weeks, and I might have you roll at the end since you don't have spellcraft. Maybe that's what I'll do to see if you need to extend the research time.
Okay.
I'll figure that out at the at the end of the research time. All right, so yeah, make a note that it'll take you 4 weeks, and you've deducted the cost.
I can do that right now.
Okay.
Excuse me.
All right, so that's what you're going to be spending your time on. Solas will help you find some relevant books and stuff like that. Solas, what else are you going to be doing?
Solas is making paper.
Okay. Did you have enough materials for it?
Yeah, I have materials for basically to make 100 sheets of paper.
Okay. All right, so you'll be working on that.
Yeah.
Okay. Ockar, are you going to continue working with Beowulf?
Yeah, and also proselytizing to the pirates.
Okay. Anything else that you want to be doing?
Oh, when I'm not busy with those two things, I'll be keeping a lookout for any troubles.
Okay.
But when I'm busy with those two actions, I'll probably have a crew member on lookout.
Yeah, I mean, as officers, you basically just need to be available to the crew. But the crew, when you're just going, just continuing on until morning kind of thing, you guys, the officers don't need to be actively doing anything.
Yeah, mainly those two actions and maybe training a bit with my axe.
Okay.
If I have any time.
Braxon's happy to help Ockar train with his axe.
Sure.
You have to do that during shift change since you are in different shifts.
Did you figure out he was going to have that longsword +3?
All right. We still need to decide that.
Because I'm pretty sure it's just going to be either or of you two.
I'd like to put a claim for it and put my Gurn sword up for sale when we reach our next port. But if Braxon wants it, we can roll off.
I mean, Lafdul, you can use longswords too.
Yeah, I know I can use longswords, but Lafdul's kind of like carrying an arsenal at the moment.
Wasn't it so that Ockar can't really sell his gear?
I can
that
sell
he
it.
Gives up, but he has to give it to the good cause.
Yeah, he just has to.
Yeah, you have to
give
donate
it
it. You have to
away.
donate it.
Oh,
to
they'll
your...
donate it next time I have the chance to a good cause.
Yeah.
That's what I meant.
And until you donate it, like, you would be expected to, like, put it aside. But if there was a situation where it's like, we know we're going to go fight a dragon, we know we're going to go fight a wyvern, some big reptilian creature, you're going to do it. You can pull it out again for that use.
I'm gonna leave it hanging out in my wallet until we end up in a situation like that.
All right.
Wallet sword.
But
what was your old longsword then?
I have my original longsword. I've just been having hanging as a decoration on the wall, and on the off chance that I end up breaking mine.
Gaze reflex that you keep forgetting about.
But he means the current magical longsword that you'd be getting rid of, you'd be replacing.
So yeah. Because Braxon's got his first longsword in his room, but it's just a longsword. But he's got it for sentimental reasons.
Yeah. The original longsword that the character started out with, that's in his room as well for sentimental reasons. The one that he's been using, Cox Crow, he's planning on donating as soon as possible, but until then he's going to hang it up on the wall until we reach a port where I could go donate it. If I end up getting this +3 sword. Otherwise I'm just going to stick with the Cox Crow. You know?
Yeah, so Big Mac, it's a longsword +3 if you are interested.
Yeah, I'm interested, but Braxton's got a few things, and I think useful.
One question?
Yeah, Leva.
Ockar is not supposed. He can't sell the stuff, but could he gift it to someone?
No.
Can't be given back to the party in any shape or form.
Yeah.
It has to be donated to either his church to be
or
used
another good
to
cause.
his church's, in his
like
church's
Tom or Levander or someone good.
or a basically a lawful good organization, preferably one that's religious in nature and aligned with yours.
Yeah.
Leva thinks that's weird. That's okay. Well,
We're all weird in our own ways, Leva. That's what religion is.
Nah, Leva is perfectly normal. It's the rest of the world that's terrible.
That's why Leva is so weird, that she's so normal.
Is that all the PCs that will have religion apart from her?
Braxton says, I'll have the next longsword that comes along.
Okay, so next longsword, make it a holy avenger. Got it. All right.
Oh, come on!
well, that's the terms you're agreeing to.
I'd have to see what the next sword is before I agree to that.
Oh!
But Big Mac Braxton is giving up this sword for the next longsword.
I think you should roll off for it in that case, because Ockar could go through multiple swords before you even get one.
I think it's okay to say next longsword unless it is a paladin only or a paladin preference weapon. That's.
I'll agree. I'll agree if it's not a paladin holy sword or something like that.
Okay, next time we get a longsword, we check if it's got an alignment or anything like that, and if it obviously has a preference for being around paladins. then it'll want to be with you.
That seems fair.
All right.
This
All
would
right,
be
so
when
Ockar, you
Braxon
can
finds a...
make a note of that. You won't need to remove the old one until you actually donate it. But just keep in mind that it's staying in your room unless you specifically say otherwise.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so Finn, you are beginning your research, which is going to take up most of your free time. Is there anything else that you want to do that you'd be able to fit in with that as well?
Other than just tending plants, no.
Okay. And Leva.
Leva keeps on researching improved invisibility,
Okay.
and she keeps it away from Lafdul.
Oh, Lafdul is being a busybody and bothering her.
That's another week, isn't it?
Yep.
Wow, we are at 54 days of 57.
All right. And Lafdul?
He will go, well, obviously finishing, this is another week, isn't it? So that puts him down to 6 days left after this week. But otherwise, he would be speaking to Numeria, I suppose, and getting her perspective on elven life and just like another elf's opinions of like the elven imperial navy. And not just that, just elven life, I guess. Just speaking to an elf that actually has an elven life. So to speak.
So Numerial never rose very high, so in the ranks, and so her views are a bit different because she was never an officer, and a lot of it for her is just how much she had been looking forward to joining the Imperial Navy and being part of a ship that would go between spheres, like either a courier ship or an exploratory vessel or something like that. And she ended up just being on a patrol vessel, hanging around like certain planets and stuff like that. And she found it super boring, and that's why she left.
Can you transfer or something?
She tried, but in the end, she decided to just resign, and that's signed up with a couple merchant ships, which were definitely going to different spheres, and then you guys came along, and it was like, adventurers, almost certainly going to new spheres. Sure, she's been loving this. I mean, like the last sphere was not exactly her cup of tea, obviously. But just the idea that she's getting to see new stuff is extremely exciting for her.
I suggest that she should write down her adventures. It might make an interesting story, especially if you got a zeal for it.
She's indicates that she's not much of one for writing. Like she doesn't even have much interest in.
You're a wizard, aren't you?
The wizards can not have much interest in writing. I mean, she does what she needs to do for her spellbook and stuff like that, but
it seems like an oxymoron.
It's not like every wizard is also novelist.
Yeah.
Every one of her spells takes up 1 page, and it's only 1 word.
That's a super efficient wizard.
Basically, so like, she has no interest in spell research. Like she may do a few things just because she feels that she needs to at some point. She hasn't yet, but overall, if she never had to do, like, she's good at magic, and she could probably be way, way better if she had that kind of drive and urge to do spell research, but she doesn't. So, she's very much. You definitely sense some wanderlust in her and stuff like that.
Oh, maybe I need to terrorize her more so she has to come up with new defense mechanisms and spells. Inspire her inverted.
In that regard, she's complete opposite of Solas. That Solas loves to be in midst of research.
But so you see the adventuring as a way to get more research material, kind of thing, right?
Indeed.
Yeah. Whereas she would see getting more research material is an opportunity for adventure, kind of thing. So yeah, very, very much the opposite. All right.
Solas really would love to be in. If we could have archaeological dig site.
Well, you never know. You never know.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But other than the Kindori pod, that second week of travel is very uneventful.
Okay.
And you get into the third week.
Yay. On day 6, I get my thing.
All right. Big Mac, anything in particular that you were doing in that week?
Braxon's gonna have a look into the deep phlogiston with his spyglass in his spare time. When he's not training and checking with people and that sort of thing.
Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't be training for like 8 hours anyway. So.
Yeah, I know.
You already read through the book Solas gave you?
No. He'll be reading that book as well. He's going to be looking for omens from Ptah.
Alright.
Because Ptah might put some sort of symbol in the sky that's an omen that tells him something.
Okay. You see some things that might be, but you don't see anything that is assuredly an omen. So a lot of that's going to be up to your own interpretation.
Yeah.
All right, Solas. What are you doing on that third week?
Out of interest, can we actually actively look for things to fish?
You can, yeah.
We can line that, I believe.
You can't fish at Spelljammer speed, can you?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. If anything hits our ship's air envelope, it drops to relative speed.
But it travels with us, I guess.
Yeah.
Until it leaves your air envelope.
Oh.
Yeah, so if we bump into something edible, we've got until it leaves our air envelope to eat it.
So yeah, you could be flying along and just tear a school of fish apart as you bring along part of it, ripping poor fish kids from their fish parents. Yeah, it's terrible.
Nemo!
Don't try and make us feel guilty, Ald. I've seen you slapping chickens on Friday.
Oh no. At least he wasn't
sometimes I just have to call out some things that are it's completely reasonable to ignore in games and stuff like that. Sometimes just needs a little lampshade hung on it, you know?
Shush you, we wouldn't even care about that in real life.
Well, I could say I haven't got anything interesting to do this week.
No, that's fine too. But I mean, there's also an element of just like looking at. I mean, the phlogiston is beautiful. It is. It really is.
Yeah.
So, just looking out into it is like watching moving works of art. So, that in and of itself can be pretty entertaining. Solas, what are you working on?
Solas is working on his reports on the adventures in the Chthon space.
Okay. How much paper did you get made in that 1 week?
I don't remember if there's any mention of how much you do in 1 week in the proficiency.
There should be there should be something.
Oh, I figured that was for making spell scribing quality paper. That was like limited to like 1 a day or something, but regular mundane paper, I have no idea.
Yeah, there should be at least. Then I mean, there should be something. that I can then use. Let me go look. Hold on a second.
I've made paper in real life, and it's not too difficult. It's just
Well, it's going to be more difficult if you're trying to make good quality. I mean, I've made paper too, but it was not exact. It wasn't even.
No, mine was
quality.
terrible. It's like it will apart if I really.
Let's see. Only thing it mentions is a wizard who makes his own paper can
Yeah,
reduce.
I just looked at it myself.
Although this requires 1 to 2 weeks of time and suitable work area. That's the only thing that the paper making mentions. So that would mean 1 to 2 weeks, according to that.
I would say you can
like
make
a D20, isn't it?
Because you don't have like a big manufacturer or anything like that. You've got what fits in the ship and stuff like that, and your limited space.
Hanging it up.
I would say that you could probably make no more than 10 sheets of paper a day.
So 70.
Yeah.
In a week.
Yeah.
Well, then I do the rest of the 100 during the first half of the week, and the second half I will start compiling detailed reports.
Okay. And this is just normal paper. This can't be used for scrolls or spellbooks.
This is for the spell book for that 1 to 2 week for the paper making.
Right, but I mean, like you're either making paper for a spellbook, or you're making just paper, normal paper.
This paper is for spellbooks.
Then it's going to be the process time for making spellbooks.
So the paper making has it wrong then.
No, I gave the number that I gave you is for if you're just making normal paper. I believe for a spellbook you make it in like it's normally 1 page a day or something like that.
Let's see, the time it takes to make a spellbook, it's mentioned in bookbinding.
Hold on a second.
It's 2 weeks plus 1 day per 5 pages is the bookbinding for making spellbook. But the paper making proficiency mentions that it takes 1 to 2 weeks to create enough paper for a spellbook. With suitable work area.
Alright, hold on a second. Let's see. I mean, because that also means that you don't have normal paper. You're not making normal paper. I would just say that, like, I mean, if you're making a spellbook, make a spellbook, just because that's easier. If you're making paper, just make paper.
Okay. Then I'm just making normal paper.
Because I don't think you spent the gold pieces for a new spellbook when you got this material. Which would be extra, like it's extra chemicals and everything like that, and extra processes and everything like that you would need to put into it.
Well, I've spent that amount of, but I've also spent the amount of money to buy normal paper making materials, so let's say this is normal paper then.
Okay. So then I'll say 10 pages per day.
Okay.
All right. Okay. And Ockar, anything different? Or are you in this third week, or are you continuing on what you've been doing?
Continuing on what I've been doing.
Okay. Anything
to redeem these poor people.
I will note that Red Njord is mostly silent, as is Silithia. Sard loves to heckle you. Sard is extraordinarily sarcastic about like everything you say, and he does his absolute best to rile you up all the time.
I do my best to keep going, not letting it get to me.
Okay.
Try to show a force of will of not being affected by his heckling.
Okay. All right. Finn, continuing your research.
Yes, I am.
Okay. Anything else that you want to fit in there other than taking care of your plants?
Nothing I can think of, so.
Okay. Leva.
Leva just realized that she got herself caught by wishful thinking. This is the third week, you're saying?
Yeah, 21 days have passed at the end of that week.
In that case, she is at the end of this week at 54 days of research, which means she's not doing nothing else but researching.
Okay. And Lafdul.
This on the 6th day, I would have my completion of my tome study, mental exercises.
All right. So you finish your mental exercises, and you find your mind expanding somewhat. You gain a point of intelligence.
Does that mean I get another language? Because that puts me up the language limit.
It will open up a slot available, and it will give you a new proficiency slot.
Does this mean that
It's not automatic. You have to train train and learn those things.
does this mean Lafdul's head looks wider than it did last week?
No.
Hang on, I'm wrapping my head around this. I've gained potentially a new language if I want to study a new language, because I have a new.
So yeah, you've gained a point of
maximum number of
intelligence,
language.
and that's bumped up the number of languages stat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that means that you now have a free proficiency slot for any proficiency that you want.
Oh, I didn't realize you gained a proficiency.
Yep. Because
I thought it was just language.
Because, well, the way that I'm playing it is that number of languages is both languages that you can learn and bonus proficiency slots. Because if it's one or the other, I find that in any kind of game where there are a lot of languages that can be extremely useful, it's just not enough. You need to spend so many of your proficiency slots on just languages, which doesn't feel like, I don't know, I like characters to be a bit more well-rounded than that.
Can Braxon teach Lafdul Tinkergnome while he's asleep?
No. I am not wasting my proficiency on that backwater language.
So,
by the way, during this trip, Solas would have made sure that to collect about the winnings from that bet.
Oh yeah, 10 gold. Alright, I will deduct 10 gold off me.
Yep.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I remember Finn was also one on the bet.
Yeah, I believe
That's
it was
true.
Solas and
For him
Finn
also.
get 20 gold, and Braxon and Lafdul lose 20 gold.
Yeah.
Correct? Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
I've deducted 20.
And Braxon, you deducted 20?
Yeah, I'm just going to now.
Okay. And Solas and Finn, you got that 20 added on?
Mm-hmm.
Well, in a moment.
All right. So yeah, Lafdul, you can start thinking about both a language that you get that you want to learn, and I mean, like, you'll have to spend the time learning these. They're not just boom, you gain hey, free proficiency, but you gain a new proficiency slot and a new language slot. And of course, any intelligence-based proficiencies you have go up by 1.
No, I will adjust. Oh, my herbalism's up by 1.
Hey, that's always good. Okay. All right. So other than that, that third week is completely uneventful.
And appraisal. Spellcraft. Yay!
All right.
Actually, got quite a lot, actually. Spellcraft, herbalism, appraisal, all the languages.
All right. All right.
Sorry was is totally not sorry. So I got away with it.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? Because of that, again, you gain 2,000 XP for your thief.
Oh, I do.
Because that's I'm gonna say that is the completion of a little successful heist.
I shall not complain.
All right, so you enter into the 4th week in the Phlogiston, and I will have to keep track. Like a pay period has passed already. I have not. I will need to. Do you want me to just let you know how many pay periods pass at the end of the session? Because I need to go back and edit that.
Yeah, that would probably be easiest.
Okay. Rather than doing it as is. Okay. All right. So another week passes, and it is completely uneventful. Nothing of note happens during your trip through the Phlogiston. Well, external. External. Well, we'll get to.
Lewa thinks it's.
Well,
Lewa thinks it's absolutely fantastic. It's something really special, almost as good as fighting with the Fiend. Sorry, winning over the Fiend.
Hang on, this is where you don't actually learn the spell and you keep going
Yes.
through all your money.
Lafdul, shut up.
we'll handle that in a moment.
Lafdul, you just jinxed it already.
I like jinxing.
Lewa has her spells ready to cast on Lafdul if he says even a word.
That's why I start casting Dispel Magic straight from the get-go.
All right, so nothing external eventful happens. Braxon, on this 4th week, I think you would definitely know. You'd have learned Goblin by this point.
Okay. Thank you.
And anything else that you're spending time on?
I think Braxon might. Well, he can't learn Hawaii because he hasn't got his slots, but he might talk to the Hawaiis in their own language.
Okay.
Just have a practice with it.
All right.
Not that it's going to do anything statistically.
You could talk to Lewa in Hawaii.
Oh, does Lever speak Hawaii?
Yes.
Oh. Might do.
And now she probably speaks it fluently.
You will have lots of practice with the other Hawaii, yeah.
Yeah. Did somebody say to Braxon that they wanted to learn another language?
Not yet, probably.
Solas is always about learning languages, but at the moment there's not a language he's thinking about learning here.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll wait until we get to people's turns, and if they want to talk to Braxon about learning a language, then they can indicate that. How's
Okay.
that?
Well, Braxon will go to Solas and say, I think you said something about wanting to use my ring for research. I seem to have finished learning Goblin now. So if you need it to read any of these books, you can borrow it from me without damaging my ability to learn Goblin.
I don't think we have any Goblinoid books at the moment.
Well, no, you can use it for any language.
You have to have
Well,
someone...
you have to know someone that knows a language.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think we have anyone who knows a language that I don't know that we have books in the moment. So.
Well, surely you must have some Tinkergnome books.
No.
It may seem unusual, but Solas has not yet taken time to learn hydrodynamics.
Yeah, that is very unusual.
Solas, what do you want to do during that week?
It depends if Leva manages to finish the research of her.
Okay, you want to wait until
Yeah.
She indicates. Okay. Ockar, anything in particular that you want to do that week? This is the
Nope.
4th week.
Just the same stuff.
Okay. And
Trying
Finn?
to reach these people.
Just keeping up on his research.
Okay. You'll have one more week after this?
So I would have completed 2 at the end of last week, so.
So at the end of this would be 3.
Yep.
Okay. All right. And Leva.
4 days. And she looks up and she goes, finally. And then she looks around well after.
Lava!
And she
I have
goes
a
to her room and closes, locks the door.
You know, Lafdul could just open doors.
What is it, D100?
Yep. Chance to learn spell. Hey!
I think that did it, didn't it?
I think so.
And then we have, what is it? It's fourth level spell, so it's 3.
Hey, not too bad.
Mm.
Yeah.
So she now knows improved invisibility. So just so you all know, the next few days you won't see Leva as much as you normally see her around.
Considering
She
that
will
you've
try
been
it out.
considering you've been closeted away doing spell research, they may not notice. I don't think they've seen a whole lot anyway.
Also, do remember that Leva promised to help Solas learn alchemy.
Yes. So
So once you're done with spell research, you start teaching Solas.
so what you will see is this invisible. No, you won't see this invisible. You will notice all of a sudden something is tapping you on your shoulder, saying, "Do you want help? You want to learn alchemy with me now?"
Well, you did promise to teach alchemy to me, Leva.
All right, let's do it.
All right, so you guys begin teaching that. You have a spare proficiency slot, Solus?
Yeah, I have 2 spare.
Okay. I will probably say that that may take the rest of the trip through the phlogiston. It'll take a little while to learn the proficiency. It'll depend a lot on how long you're actually in the flow and everything like that.
Yeah.
Okay. And Lafdul.
I'm so torn what I want to do now.
Well, you can start learning proficiency or a language.
Yeah, I'm just trying to remember when I get my next proficiency. Because you said my jewelry one, when I eventually do take that, it's just 1 slot. I don't need more than 1 point for it.
Yeah, I think I said artistic ability.
Yeah, artistic ability, jewelry. I mean, what would you... Because this hasn't been written up per se, but I assume this would be like... Effectively, what I want to do is obviously smelt down jewelry, remake jewelry from existing jewelry. Or design new jewelry, or, make small baubles and stuff like that. Intricate things, and obviously not.
Yeah, you'll be limited by what you can do on your ship.
Yeah, it is...
Because you're not going to have...
thing, mostly.
You are not going to have the space on the ship to have anything that has any sort of forging or
I'm in the same boat as Ockar.
facilities. Yeah.
But it would allow me to do melting and stuff like that, or reforging.
Yeah. So one thing that I'm gonna be doing is because when I create a piece of jewelry, I generate it for a treasure. I don't break down what the parts are. You will always lose money if you're just melting it down and selling its component parts. because jewelry is always the sum of its parts are greater than like the whole is always greater than the sum of its parts, kind of thing.
It would help.
What you can do is take existing pieces. Like if you have 10 small faceted stones of the same kind, you could turn them into a ring or a necklace or something like that, and then sell them for more than what they're worth altogether, and any materials that you get. What I would say is that based on the cost of the gems that you have, you decide a target value that you want, and I will tell you how much the materials will cost, and you make your proficiency check. If you're successful, then you can sell it at that price, your target price.
Right, yeah, I'm just thinking it could also be useful for making specific enchanted rings later on, because I could literally make them.
Absolutely, yeah. You could, and that's the other thing is you could definitely make jewelry for enchantment, spell components, and some of that stuff. I would also like. Not everything jewelry related requires like smithing and forging. So I would, like if you have some materials that don't require, like if you purchase already smith stuff, like rings without gems that have a setting for it, then you can put a gem in. You don't need any. You don't need. You'll need tools, but you won't need any special facilities.
I got gem cutting as well. I can always cut it to size if I get some base pre-made ones, I suppose, or something. I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, you could also just like. Because a ring that.
I'm just trying to wrap.
Right, you can get some like basic rings that have settings, but like the clasps and stuff like that can be adjusted based on the size of the gem in a lot of cases.
Would
they have, like,
this
a claw
proficiency extend to decorating armor?
Yeah, but that would probably require special facilities, depending on what you want to do.
Yeah, this would be something I would have. Yeah, this would be something I would have on Brawl. This is not something I would ever do while I was traveling.
Yeah, because you can do filigree, but just not on the ship.
Because I was thinking if I ever enchant an item, I would probably weave that in with the process or something.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Alright, no, I will... Because I can't really learn it, but I suppose I could start doing smithing research, I guess. Generic stuff.
So again, like, what I will say is that, like, if you study the pieces of jewelry that you have, including magical jewelry, since you'd planned to do this, if you want to spend 100 gold pieces to have some books on hand, and we'll just retcon that you purchased these before.
Yeah, I'm willing to spend more money on that if you think I need to spend more on it.
Then
I got like 500 to spare at the moment. So.
Yeah, so 100 gold pieces, you'll have some books on hand that talk about jewelry making techniques.
And
then you study some jewelry that you have, and that'll get you the proficiency when enough time has passed.
Alright.
Okay.
It just means I get access to it a lot earlier than I thought I would. Alright, then I will start that. And then I'm not going to mark... Should I mark down how long I've been doing it for?
Yeah, keep notes on that, but like just decide when you start and...
So this would be like the 8th day, I guess, if I had 6...
Just do it in whole weeks. It's easier that way rather than tacking
on
an extra day.
Whole weeks. But how would this interrupt me cutting gems? Because they're kind of related in a way. I can't double down on this then. Research and cut gems.
No,
because in a way I could... Alright.
Let's cut gems or work on the
proficiency. No, I'm doing proficiency because I'm selfish. So, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's Lafdul selfish. I mean, eventually it'll be cutting gems.
That's fine with me. I don't care.
Yeah.
All right, so that'll wrap up that'll wrap up 4 weeks in the flow. We are going to be taking our break, and when we come back, the party will be continuing in the flow. They have no idea how long this trip is going to take, but they've already been there for 4 weeks. Will they just be in the flow for another week? Will they be in the flow for 20 more weeks? Who knows? We'll have to find out when we come back next time. Well, not next time, but after the break. I'm sorry. We'll be back in about 10 minutes, everyone. Good time to stretch, get something to eat or drink, and we will see you guys shortly.
See ya.
See you then.
See you on the other side.